Can you hear me?
Yes, Your Majesty.
Okay.
You cut out there for a few minutes.
I saw, yeah, I saw like the loading symbol. Okay, we're here now anyway. And you guys got a bunch of exciting minifigures you made yourself for us to review this week. See if,
Um, I believe you're mistaken. Today we will be reviewing the classic Golden Age of Town minifigures. And we
okay.
have a lot of minifigures to go over, so we'll have to go through this as quickly as possible. So I'm going to go ahead and bring up our very first entry, and we will jump right into our final episode of Brit Tier.
Thanks for joining us, Nora. By the way, guys, a note. Sorry that I don't have my headset today. Right before the stream, one of my rabbits decided to bite right through the cord, so I got this until a few more days.
Shall we proceed?
We shall.
Swap screen.
And there we go.
Are you sure this is right?
Not sure. That was your screen. Have the wrong figures up?
I don't know. This was from the album you sent me. I thought we were reviewing Town figures today.
Isn't this town? It looks town to me. I mean,
It,
walk on
it,
any town, you might see these type of people.
it looks like a mishmash of different licensed figure pieces. We have a bunch of Star Wars elements. I believe that's from Indiana Jones. It's a total mishmash. Um, was this the fan submission idea that you proposed earlier?
Perhaps.
Your Majesty.
I'm afraid, yeah, we're going to go over that this week. Fan submissions.
Very well. Fan submission week. Where were we? We have a very interesting lineup here today. On the left, we have, I believe that's cat ears. It looks like it was cut from the 1x1 tooth piece. Just a little tip on it. And that is totally illegal, but well done for the way you did it. It doesn't look as abysmal as I expected. So overall, this is clearly a military group. One has a very nice cape, a variety of different helmets and equipment for different military operations. So overall, this group, I'd say, is probably around a B tier, but the modification, the cutting of pieces on the left figure, that brings it down, in my opinion, to a C or a D.
C or D? Yeah, I'd say C sounds about fair.
Very well. Would you move this abomination to the appropriate slot?
Awesome. Did we want to look at what anyone else voted, or we're good?
Yes. We have 5 A's, 2 B's, 1 S, and 1 S plus.
Wow, they loved it.
As I expected, many of our audience are wrong.
So we're going to overrule them and go for a C?
Yes. I will not tolerate this kind of mob rule. You've already overtaken the submissions this week. That is as far as I'm willing to go. No more sympathy.
Sounds fair to me. We'll give them a C. Just satisfactory. And
Next we have these creatures called, I believe they're called Studlings. These are very peculiar. They're not exactly minifigures, but they're approximately minifigure scale. They have minifigure equipment, and they use the Mixels faces. I believe that these creatures are designed to sow chaos. So we have a flamethrower, a throwing the little star baton, an axe, and a sword. One of the characters also has dynamite. You can barely see it on the corner of the screen.
I can see it, yeah.
I have extremely mixed feelings about this because these figures are absolutely disgusting, yet they're simple and colorful enough to be almost adorable. So this gives me this uncanny valley of disgust. So overall, I have to say this assortment, it's probably a D.
D? Even worse than the last one?
Yes, this is absolutely a D.
What do the audience think?
2S plus, 1S, 4 A's, one C, one F. I believe that F definitely offsets it to a
Definitely.
low C, high D range.
Low C, high D. Okay, so the question is lower C than the last one?
Yes, absolutely. These figures are even, I'd argue that these figures are even worse than cutting up a brick.
Okay, so low C or high D? I guess low C.
Low C.
Sounds fair to me. You're crushing
Next,
dreams here. Everyone was hoping to make an A.
next we have the Happy Fire Monk.
Looks so
And
happy.
I believe I know who submitted this. I can never explain to you why he considered this to be a good idea, but this figure is some sort of pyromancer, it believes. So he has fire pieces coming out of his head and his hands. It's not clear whether he's in control of the situation or whether he's just being actively immolated. However, his happy expression does offset that. Overall, this character is simple enough. I'd give it a B.
B. Optimism boosts him up a bit.
Indeed. Let's see what our audience has to say.
Upside, get over that.
Still happy is 5S plus, 1A, 2 C's, 1 D, and 1 F minus.
F minus. Does that affect our ranking at all?
Absolutely not. This
No leeway
must
today.
remain as this is still absolutely a B.
Awesome. We'll give him a B.
I'll make it a high B as a compromise, but that's as far as we go.
Sounds fair to me. What abomination do we got next?
Next we have this figure didn't exactly have any description. There was something about turtles. I did not understand that at all. This figure is clearly female, has the new Ninjago hairpiece, I believe, from the Prime Empire line. We also have the golden robe of Snoke, and the hands are still flesh colored while the head is yellow and the body is yellow, and the body has the fleshy chest. Overall, this figure is absolutely disgusting mishmash of color. There is nothing there's nothing that goes together about this figure. Overall, this is even worse than a custom cut up piece, in my opinion. Therefore, this figure is a solid D, if not an F.
Do we give them any points to the fact that they seem to be held at gunpoint?
Holding a what?
They're held at gunpoint, it looks like, is a gun aim
Well, at a
behind them.
gunpoint, if anything, that takes it down because whoever is about to shoot them is clearly in the right. This figure in the foreground is clearly a danger to society and must be purged at the earliest convenience.
To me. You had a question in the audience asking if they can have a late submission. Too late for that?
I'm afraid not.
Okay.
We are already going, and we may have another opportunity to do another fan submission activity like this. However, today is just the minifigures we have in my folder.
Awesome. So what was the final verdict on this one?
Low D.
Low
The
D.
lowest of all Ds. D for dead.
D for dead.
We had 1 S, 4 Bs, 2 Cs, 1 D, and 1 F and 1 F minus. So the audience isn't too incorrect about this one. Next, we have our Mutant. Now, this is a revolting mishmash from several different themes. We have a head from Chima, a body from Nexonites, a skeleton leg, and I believe that is a dragon arm.
It definitely is, yeah.
This character is clearly the result of some deranged scientific experiment by someone with no respect for the scientific method. And if anything, this creature just needs to be put down for its own good.
I think he must have stepped in a bucket of acid or something of this foot. That's the only explanation I can think of.
He is indeed a mutant. It's possible at some point he resembled something we would call a person. However, at this point, he is way more monster than human. Therefore, this figure is a solid F.
F. Do we give the audience's opinion some sway in this?
We have 1S, 2S, 1S plus, 4As, wrong, 1B, 1D, 1F, and 1F minus. So a few of you were very close to the correct answer on this one. This is a solid F, but is not quite the worst abomination we have ever seen, even on this stream.
Solid F.
Next, we have the Middle Eastern gentleman. I quite like this figure, honestly. He has a very simple style, tans, earth tones, a little white on the robe. It is very simple and effective. This is exactly the sort of figure I would see if we had another Arabic theme like we saw back in about 2010 with Prince of Persia, which had a very nice Arabic style to it. So overall, I'm quite pleased with the simplicity and elegance of this figure. Therefore, I am content to give this figure a solid A.
It sounds fair to me. I think that turban might actually be from Prince of Persia theme.
The
Not
turban,
positive.
yes, it has appeared in Prince of Persia as well as several other figures.
Yeah.
I'm not quite sure where the headpieces come from. It may even be from the Forester character from the collectible minifigures, but do not quote me on that.
Could be. What does the audience think?
The audience has a overwhelmingly correct opinion on this. We have 1S plus, 1S, 5As, very respectable, 2B, 1C, and 1F. So we have a good mix of opinion approximating down on a solid high A for this figure.
I'm wondering, I have a theory, everyone's going to have one S plus vote because everyone's going to vote for themselves as high as they can.
That is not unsurprising.
What is happening here?
I'm remiss to speculate, but this is clearly some sort of apocalyptic scene, classic apocalypse. This figure has several different equipment to survive in an apocalyptic wasteland. He resembles Benny's appearance in the Lego Movie 2 just slightly, with the robot arm, decay on the torso. But he also has several unique elements as well, which is a air tank and the breathing mask from City. Now, all these elements overlap in ways that aren't physically possible. And for that reason, you have to take this down significantly. This is not a legal build. Therefore, this character I would have otherwise given him a high B, maybe even an A. But as it is, this character is no more than a C.
Sounds fair to me. Do we give any merit points to the fact that he conquered this other figure here?
Yes, this is clearly a Forester figure who has been subjugated. The Forester figure is clearly weak and did not adapt to the changing environment of the chaotic decay. I believe that all of these other fan-submitted figures are probably all in different stages of psychological decay, and we will see the madness progress as we continue.
Awesome. What did the audience think for this one?
Classic Apocalypse gets 3S plus, 5S, 2As, and 1B. That is overwhelmingly and astonishingly positive. This is not what I expected. However, I'm willing to compromise just this once and say it is a low A.
Low A? That sounds fair to me. Very nice. Our second highest of the day so far. Next we have
a very simple design over here. This is, I believe it's called the Roboninja. You can clearly see the inspiration from Zane here. It's a mix of Ninjago and Tron elements. And while this figure isn't the most unique we've ever seen, I do like the simplicity and the combination of colors. The dark gray printing on the torso matches the dark gray on the hat, on the head wrap, and the black and the light blue fits perfectly against his light blue visor on his head. Therefore, I quite like this figure. It is a very simple, very elegant combination. It's not the most original we've ever seen. However, it is very effective. Therefore, I'm willing to say this character may even be our first S, something I did not expect from you fans.
Wow, that's high praise.
However, let us view your incorrect opinions. We have 3S plus, 2S, 1A, 2B, and 3C. That is clearly very misguided. I am overruling chat in this situation. This is not a democracy. This is a solid S.
Sounds fair to me. Were we to question your expert opinion?
Have we had any good comments from the chat? I do not expect any.
We got a heart.
Okay.
I think it was for
That's
you.
my
But
assistant again. Let's proceed. This is Nerfboy sig fig, I believe. So this character is clearly just a color on top of the recolor. Someone painted on top of a 3D rendering of the figure. Therefore, the quality seems just a little bit off. Sorry, do we have a comment?
yes, by the creator of that one. I think he added some description to it.
Yes. Overall, it's hard to properly judge this figure. There's a lot of elements I do like about this figure, in all honesty. There's a lot of simplicity to this character in the color scheme, but there's a lot of chaos from his cybernetic elements. I quite appreciate all that is going on here. The professor has a fake diploma. That is not true. I have a diploma. I have a degree in what? Get the tar and feathers.
Uh-oh.
Can you remove this can you remove this individual from our stream, please?
At once. They're gone.
I have a degree in anthropology, and I will not tolerate this kind of talk. Is that understood? Very good. Let's continue.
He'd say he understood if he was still here.
Overall, this figure has a lot going for it. I have to subtract at least 2 tiers from since it's not a real figure. The artist did a good job translating your character, obviously, Nerfboy. Overall, I'd say this character is a solid A, right below the Roboninja, I would say.
That sounds fair to me. Let's chat in agreement. Also, welcome, Brooksmania. Thanks for joining us.
Indeed. I hope you brought something to help assuage the pain we are about to experience together. Nerdology, that is not a real thing. Next. Hang on.
Got a question.
Nerfboy has 1S plus, 1S, 4As, 1B, 2Cs, 1D, and 1F minus. Overall, I agree that this character, with the majority opinion, that this character is a high A.
Hey, sounds fair to me.
Very good.
It's like we're ranking Nerfboy himself, as it looks a lot like his usual
Yes,
avatar.
that is a very subjective. Does involve a lot of personal bias. I do not know your minstrel very well. I stay mostly in my scientific advisors' chambers. I sometimes visit your royal chambers, and sometimes I even pass by Brickatraw's prison. However, overall, I try not to mingle with the other members of your staff.
Probably advisable. Now, was he the highest A or mid A is the question. We give him the high spot?
I put him just behind the
behind.
Middle Eastern gentleman. Are there going to be more figs rated? We are just today will be our last Brick Tier stream. However, we may revisit this concept at some point in the future. However, the way things are going, I am very reluctant to let fans submit anything else.
Brooksmania, I did get a haircut on. If you had on Mockow, you would have seen I had the haircut before then too.
Are we ready to proceed, Your Majesty?
I'm just checking the chat quick. Didn't see it in the poll. Oh, did we miss one? Did you use the hashtag BrickTier in the post? That was kind of like the flag to show us you wanted it in there.
Yes, it's possible it was overlooked for that reason.
I apologize if so.
Shall
One
we
more.
proceed?
Yeah, let me check the chat quick.
All right.
Brick here. You just did. Yeah, there's a shout out for your channel. And Nerfboy wants to know who gave him the F minus. I'm afraid all submissions are anonymous. We cannot disclose.
Yes, the F tier was submission was clearly inadvised.
Awesome.
Next, we have
Finally ready to
our
proceed.
very first candidate for F minus. This
Already.
character is an absolute abomination. I do not know how or why anyone would even consider making something this monstrous.
Oh,
This
my
character
goodness.
has droid legs. It's clearly cursed Yoda, as the description of this model said. I have to say, this is absolutely revolting, disgusting. One of the most disgusting figures I have ever seen in my life. The cape there's two layers to the capes. They're not even the same kind of capes. They're two different types of fabric of cape. One is the traditional starched. The other is the spongy material that we see in the newer capes. And seeing them together, it's absolutely revolting. The colors on the arms, on the blue, that doesn't match with the tan and the green at all. The hands are still flesh colored, and it's like I don't understand what anyone was thinking when they mutated Yoda like this.
Chat is blowing up saying give him an S plus. S Parks and Bricks Mania.
This figure is not
F
an S
minus.
plus, okay? This character is no more than an F minus.
Is he wearing two capes, by the way? I just noticed that.
Yes, I was trying to tell you. You need to pay more attention, Your Majesty.
The chat was distracting me.
This is a clearly one of the most disgusting minifigures I have ever seen in my entire career. This is almost as bad as the Red Bandit from the last stream.
I just noticed something very crude as well, so I will not even point out, but chat can probably spot it.
I will not opine on that any further. Let's view your incorrect opinions. Cursed Yoda has 3S plus, 1S, 6A, 1F minus. Whoever said that F minus, you are a bastion of science. I salute you. Overall, I have to say this character is a solid F. It is the worst figure we've seen on this stream, but it's not the worst we've seen in the Western stream.
F minus?
No, this is just the bottom of F.
Okay, so it's
behind the mutant.
Worse than the last abomination. Our worst of the day, but not F minus.
Yes. Next, we have a Warsaw partisan. I'm not quite familiar with the subject material of this. I believe this is a World War II inspired figure. He has a custom printed rifle piece and a unique headpiece and some sort of I'm not sure what the straps are around the vest. Overall, this figure has some very unique things going for it. I have mixed feelings about the custom elements. The rifle itself, the print on that looks very nice, while this figure was also clearly painted. And I feel the painting on the figure, it's not quite consistent enough to be pulled off realistically. You can see all the little marks with the Sharpie or whatever.
I wonder if it was intentional, meant to be like a broken image for like camouflage. It could be possible.
I slightly disagree. If it was supposed to be used like this should have been made with another paint material. It is not a print on the rifle. What I meant is the mold for this is clearly custom. It's supposed to be mud. Okay, that makes a little bit more sense. However, it feels slightly off in my opinion. Overall, for the uniqueness of this figure, I give it an A. But for the Sharpie work, I have to say that brings it down to a C. I'd average it out to a B or a C personally.
So keep in mind the presser is very critical, so don't take anything too personally.
Indeed, I am not very fond of the custom molds or painting or coloring on your figures. I find that to be an absolutely disgusting abuse of perfectly good plastic. However, if you want to make an abomination on your own time, you are perfectly welcome to. Silence my pie hole. This is my podium. You are welcome to get a doctorate and attempt to become His Majesty's advisor. However, I do not believe you are qualified to speak in this regard. We have a comment?
Yes, Brooksmania wants to know what's your name in the server.
I am not on the Discord server. I only appear on here. I only appear directly to His Majesty.
Yes, you can see his assistants on the server, but he personally is not appear.
Sorry. I got stuck in my throat.
Shall we proceed?
We shall.
Okay, we have 3S plus, 5S, 1A, and 2B. This is a very unexpectedly positive result. It's clear people really respect the effort that went into customizing this figure, and I understand that. Therefore, I am willing to give this a mid B. That's as generous as I can be in my scientific authority.
Mid B? Mid B sounds fair to me. So below the Happy Fire Monk?
Yes. He's not quite as... I'd rather see a minifigure on fire than the Warsaw partisan, personally.
It's fair to me. Brooksmania, that was Buff Babes. He's nearby watching the show on the phone.
You know, I'm chatting with them.
Bricker says, do you get paid as a professor?
His Majesty pays me in other ways. I have exclusive access to certain facilities in his kingdom because of my status. I do not receive an income specifically from that. I do work with the Rant Institute as well, and that constitutes my primary income. Next, we have another custom figure called the Human Torch. I have mixed feelings about this figure as well. The printing on this figure isn't too bad. I can't tell whether this is an official Lego used as the base or it is entirely custom. I believe it is official Lego given its texture and how the light reflects off of it, but it does have custom prints. The custom print work isn't bad. It's hard to tell at this quality. However, the decal itself is a little bit simple. I feel like it needs to be a little bit more extravagant to give the Human Torch justice.
I think that's a fair assessment.
Yes, it
A little bit
is.
blurry photo, too.
Yes.
Please highlight my comment.
Overall, this character would be about a C in my opinion. The way it does appear to be a grumpy bear. If you didn't know that this was the Human Torch, you would be hard-pressed to guess that. It is not as distinct as it should be. Therefore, this character is no more than a C.
That sounds fair to me.
It could even be a D.
Let's see if chat's in agreement.
We have some appropriately low responses. Correct. 1S plus, 1S, 3As, 2Bs, 1C, 1D, and 2Fs. The Fs absolutely offset this, so the Human Torch is absolutely a D.
Sounds fair to me. Give him a solid D. Is he above or below this frightening lady here?
Below.
Below.
At least the turtle lady is about to be shot.
Seems ugly. It's literally a gummy bear that I like.
Next we
It
have
is very
Stan Lee.
ugly. Yes.
Next we have a custom Stan Lee figure. Now this figure actually has a really impressive decaling. It's clearly custom decals on it. And it fits the Lego style pretty well overall. The face print, he has a faint smile just like Stan Lee, kind of a faint grin, like he has a smirk from some joke or some humorous thought he had. The glasses look pretty decent. It doesn't quite, the scaling on it feels just slightly off about the head. I can't quite describe it. Overall, phenomenal effort on the headpiece. The torso looks very clean, very crisp. This could pass as a very good figure. I wouldn't be surprised if this showed up as a Lego promotional figure at Comic-Con. And overall, this figure may even be an A.
Sounds fair to me. I think it's about as close to likeness as we can get to Stanley.
Yes, it is a custom figure, which I do not generally approve of. But given the effort to make this fit into the Lego style, this figure is absolutely incredible. I have to say, for the overall style, this character is an A.
It sounds fair to me. This shot agrees the question.
We have 3S Plus, 1S, 5A, 1C, and 1D. I have to say this character absolutely does average out to an A, a high A at that.
High A sounds fair to me. Certainly no less than he deserves. Let's see. How high an A?
I put him right behind Nerfboy.
Okay. Nerfboy is one step above Stanley. I think we'll all agree.
I suppose, yes.
In music skills, maybe. Not in other things.
Granted. Next, we have Professor Viral. Professor, I should check out some of the remixes you made. I will take that under advisement, Nerfboy. I will have His Majesty pass that along to me. I am very eager to hear what you have to work on. I could even use some scientific themes for myself to go along with my research. I'm sure we could work something out there.
Sounds good to me.
Now, this character is Professor Viral. He is a Spirius minifigure. However, he created a robotic artificial intelligence and implanted his consciousness inside this robotic form. Now, this character is clearly not actually a minifigure. However, this character is built to minifigure scale, and all the little greebling on this, he has little ears and pipes going all over the place. I like the little use of the 1x2 wedges and the corner wedges. He slightly resembles a Dalek in certain areas. The simplicity of the facial features is very late 90s in style. He fits the Spirius atmosphere perfectly. Overall, I absolutely adore this character, and he is also a scientist. You have to keep in mind. This character is probably the smartest in Spirius and possibly all of Classic Space. Therefore, this character is our first and only S+ for fan submissions.
S+, that's high praise.
Yes, I am astonished that we got a character this original and unique in fan submissions. This is absolutely fantastic work, and I hope we see more.
Awesome. Let's see if Chad agrees. Also, hey to RRG Productions. Thanks for joining us.
Overall, we have several. No, not a single S+. I am astonished, audience, that you have such a low opinion on the Professor. This character is clearly a genius, not as quite up to my caliber, but very close. And this character is absolutely an S+. And the rest of you said 2 A's, 3 B's, and 2 C's. I am glad we don't see any 1-2 partisan with anything lower than that, but you're still quite incorrect in saying that this is anything less than an S+.
Sounds fair to me. S+ he is. Our highest. I gotta scroll up. I'm placing him there as I scroll. Don't worry. S+.
Overall, we have a pretty interesting lineup so far. I am surprised we had any positive reactions so far. Can we go back to the tier list, please, Your Majesty?
Yep.
I believe we only have 1 figure left, and I just wanted to recap everything we have so far. We have. I was very astonished by the level of quality we have seen on some of these figures. Overall, when you told me that we would be doing custom figures, I was mortified. I was terrified that we would, by some of the figures we've seen, and some of them were that bad and worse, I'll admit. But some of them did surpass expectations. I did not expect to see anything above a C. However, we've seen more than half of our submissions have C or better. So overall, the fans have done an acceptably average job on this project, and it's not something I wish to repeat, but I do respect all the love and effort that went into all these figures.
So if this was a collectible minifigure series and you get one random one, would it be worth the price, the risk? You might get one of those at the bottom, you might get the top one.
It would depend on whether you're allowed to feel these
That's
figures.
a good point.
If you could feel these figures, there's a lot of them I would consider, especially if they had, if they were of official Lego quality. I'd absolutely get some of these figures, especially the Roboninja and Professor Viral. I would love to buy a Professor Viral, personally. Now, we have one last figure, and Professor Viral will be very hard to beat, and I am very excited to see what this is.
Can't wait to see. What do we got? Uh-oh.
Is this some kind of joke?
It looks, I can see that face in there that you were very not fond of, that bandit face. You were so horrified by before.
Is this the red? Did someone just paint on the red bandit?
Uh-oh.
The red bandit is the worst minifigure we've seen on all of Brick Tier, and you found a way to make it worse? I'm astonished. I'm revolted. This is F minus, minus F minus. This is Z minus minus. Whoever did this should be condemned to Brick and Trust prison for the rest of their lives.
Oh no. Do we even know who did it?
I'm done. I'm done.
There's the professor heading off. Maybe the last we see of him. That was a bold move. You guys know how much he hates that bandit, and you find a way to make him uglier. You're so worried about if you could, you fail to think about if you should. Hello, Philip. You caught us right at the end. The professor was so horrified that he had to leave, I'm afraid, by the ugliness of this bandit, the final figure of the day. I guess the only thing we can do to calm him down is to honor his wish and give it the rank he insisted on, F minus. Let's take a look at our final ranking for the day with that in mind, F minus there. And they get hideous near the bottom, gradually less hideous as we go up, to some very impressive ones near the top. Hello. What's to finish out the show? You want to say hi to chat?
Hi.
She's talking into the mic thing, as I said, my headset broke. But yeah, I'm sure the professor will calm down in time and hope we can get him another stream. But on behalf of both the professor and myself, I'm sure he'd agree with the sentiment as he calms down. I want to thank you guys for all tuning in to all the episodes of Brick Tier. It's been a fun show, and I'm sure we'll think of a suitably fun idea to replace it in the future. But until that time, we'll still have Mock Hour every Friday and the usual videos going every week. So I hope to see you guys hanging on the server and the comments and the stream chat and everything else. I'm going to post the final tier results, probably both in the announcement channel and in the minifigure channel of Discord. If you do want to join Discord, you're not there yet, let me know. Right there now. So I got that image. I'm going to post in just a second. Yeah, it is tragic what happened to the headphones. But yeah, thank you guys once again for joining us. Thanks for making the Brick Tier a fun show. I wish it could have gone on longer, but we'll play something funner, and I'll make sure the professor comes back in some capacity. So until next Friday, when I see you guys for Mock Hour, this is King John Brick, joined by
Buff Babe.
signing off.